And my mic was muted. Welcome to Unsung Heroes, everybody. Yeah, it's a screw up. It's an episode 2 screw up, but that's life. My name is Cynthia Vergon.
And I'm Chris Wilrich. Get your masks and capes ready.
Because today we're going to interview Hannah Kavanagh, artist and sculptor tuning in from Ireland. Hi, Hannah.
Hi. Hey, everyone. How are you getting on?
So before we get started, I have a burning question for Chris and Hannah.
Oh.
It's one of those things, those questions that you ask yourself when you're taking a shower. Why? Why do people do puzzles?
I'm one of those people.
I'm not. I respect a good game of like Cluedo or something that is a challenge that you have to put the pieces of like an escape room, put the pieces of the puzzle together and figure out the end result. But when you've got the box in front of you with the pretty picture on it, what's the point? I'm just pass.
I just love trying to figure out where all the pieces go, looking at the tiny little things, like trying to make it but me and my roommate did do one that was 3,000 over the first lockdown, and it was a Picasso painting of, I can't remember the name of it, but it was the bomb that went off over a city, and it was inspired from that, and it was probably the most depressing thing I've ever experienced in my life, slowly making that jigsaw. But we actually gave up for a while on not only life but jigsaws after that.
Did you have one of those special roll things that you can roll it up and put it to one side?
The neighbors actually gave us the jigsaw, so that's why we were like, oh, okay, we'll do it. We actually couldn't even break the thing up. We actually had to cling film it to a big picture that we had in our house and give it back to them in 3 sections and just be like, we physically can't break this up ourselves. So if you want to break it up, you totally can, but we can't do it. So if they want to keep it, that's another thing. Too much time went into that. Can't see it broken.
Yeah, too much time and effort to just break it all up and put it back in the box. Again,
I know.
You're defeating your own efforts.
Yeah. I glue my puzzles. So I discovered puzzles last year during the lockdown.
Puzzles last
I
year.
discovered puzzles. I did not ever think
that
I would have the patience for puzzles. And I do, and I just love it. It's like you're in the flow. You pick up a piece and you're like, yeah, I know where that one goes. It goes right there. And it just falls into place, and it's it's crazy. And I did a monochrome puzzle. Gold.
Oh my God.
All of it was gold. And Chris, this is for you. There's this new brand of puzzles. On the box, you see the picture of people looking at something, and the puzzle is what they're looking at.
Oh,
so you don't have a clue at all what it looks like.
So it's what happens next. I've seen them.
Well, it's like the people are like this, and it's a boat charging at them.
But then once you've then done that, there's your excitement gone. You're never going to do it again.
Oh my God! I glue my puzzles and I hang them up. Hold on, I'll show you mine.
Oh, I want to see this.
Yeah, just leaves.
My mom actually got me glue for Christmas, so oh my God, that's amazing! Yes, all of the yes. I love it so much.
Oh, hard pass from me.
So I like space.
I mean,
I know, I'm crazy.
I don't get it. Play a computer game and be involved in a story and get to the end of it and have the accomplishment and the achievement there, and then move on. Not like break it up. I'll put that in the cupboard and maybe in 30 years I'll donate it to Red Cross or something.
Oh no, we traded with our neighbors. We gave them puzzles. They gave us puzzles. Share them with your family. My puzzle I got of New York, I gave to my grandparents. They ended up making it. Like, you can totally share.
I say hi to neighbours and occasionally walk to the shops with my upstairs neighbour Jean because she's awesome. But other than that, that's my interaction done with them. We don't share stuff.
Our neighbours made us.
The sound of the volume of my voice, I think I share everything with them anyway.
Yeah. So hey, let's get to know Hannah a little bit, right? We are going to. What are all of these? What are all these comments mean? What does Gwen Hannah mean?
Gwen, like Gwen the Hannah. Like it's like getting lovely comments from all my friends from college and the Deluxe group who I work for, also wishing me luck. It's so cute. I love it. Thanks everyone. You're so sweet. That's one of my friends from college. He's great because they're actually working at the moment on a film. So there you go. Deluxe. Oh my God, I feel so supported. Great people. Oh my God.
Hannah, we've got a bunch of questions for you, and this show is really to give you a chance to show your work off. We want to know what you do and why you're a hero, because we already know you are, but you need to tell everyone else why you are a hero. Well, so I guess the first question would be, how did you get into themed experiences? Can you tell us your whole journey?
I think from the start, like my mom was always very artistic, so I definitely got a lot of inspiration from her. And then actually my dad does construction, so I think there was like a weird middle ground of like me coming together and doing that. Like I went to Loretto Balbriggan and I had amazing art teachers there, and they were always really good at pushing me towards, and everyone obviously in the art, to like do better. I had this specifically one teacher, Mr. Kilgariff, obviously, and he found model making, the course I ended up doing in college, and mostly everyone goes to NCAD, but he saw my passion for 3D and suggested model making. So he was doing the portfolio courses and everything in the evening with us. So doing that I think it was like Tuesday after school, portfolio, trying to get into art college, and he was like helping me get my art portfolio ready specifically for creative seats, but specifically for IADT to do model making. So fortunately that worked out, and it was amazing, and I ended up doing model making, where literally I learned everything from how to make like stop motion puppets to miniature models to Stanley fake blades. So obviously model making, and my lecturers there, they were like a great help to me, like Jared, Julian, everyone, just they were above and beyond, like bringing us into this amazing like course. And from then we did like my end of year exhibition and everything, and I get my foot in the door with different people who ended up seeing my exhibition work, and what was it? My exhibition work, and I just ended up getting into different jobs from there. So it was slowly just getting into different jobs and kind of making my way through it. But like, obviously model making was a big step for how I got into this in general, themed experiences. That's it. Be grand.
Well, I would love to see some of your work. I know that you've prepared some presentation deck and some videos. So if we could get that up and see what you really do, that would be wonderful. Let's go, Kelly. Woo, woo, woo.
Woo.
Thank you, producer Kelly.
Thank you, Kelly.
Producer Kelly, for getting it up.
Oh, stop it, Chris.
I was talking about the presentation. It's not my fault you have a dirty mind.
Okay.
Looks like we're Kelly. So, do you want to comment this while we go through these?
Oh yes, of course. So like I had gone from loads of different jobs. One of them was a lot of street theater. So I was lucky enough to work on and be part of an amazing team to do the St. Patrick's Day festival. There we literally doing odd jobs of like making wings and obviously for these beautiful fairies that you see like walking about. Also, if you make things for it, you get to be in the parade. So we also actually got to go through it. You get up at the crack of dawn and spend the day just like working away and being part of an amazing team and like dressing up and just having a laugh. And then afterwards, it's like amazing celebration and just brilliant people. That was like City Fusion. They're a great group, and they actually work with a lot of different communities around, and they'd be part of the show too. So this was like another more withies. So these would be willows that you'd use and build different. The thing on the right is like a stilt walker. So that's our friend Kieran in the stilt walker costume before it's completely made, and me inside it as well. And then there you go, the big stilt walker. And then we did some paint work for those, like this giant umbrella flowy thing that was part of the parade. There you go, there's it flowing, and these amazing fly heads that we had to make as well. So just like random jobs that you do, you just like laughing at them. And of course, the most typical Irish thing ever, just leprechauns. And actually, there was a trampoline inside that hat as well. So you can see that from the top up. Super safe.
How did you get that past health and safety?
Well, that wasn't me specifically fighting that corner, but we got to like put up all the fabric and everything. It was like I think they actually were hooked on as well, so that was definitely a safety issue that they had to struggle with. But I was lucky to be part of that team to experience this in general. Oh yes, Badlands. We're working on season 3 with my lovely friends, working for All Shapes, All Makes. This is a company down in Kilcool. They CNC'd out this giant elephant you see on the left, and we sanded all of it, working together, gluing it together. Then we had to pass it on to the next team who'd like cover it and everything. The one on the right, we were doing like all those little symbols and those domed things. We did a lot of set work for that. So I was working again, part of the team doing the little diamonds that you see at the top. And this was going to be like one of the major scenes in the middle where they find this like cool area that will bring them to like a new world or new beginning type of thing. So it's very interesting.
So, Kelly, can we go back to that elephant? What I really find interesting is that, and I never actually knew this, that you're making this elephant in parts.
Yeah.
And then you glue them together. I'm not a sculptor, so I don't know very much about sculpting, but I just found that so amazing that, you just work it in parts.
That's it. Like Chris and Ellie, or Carl and Ellie, they'd be building this all in digital. So then like they have this workshop and they'd CNC out all of these things, and it's just crazy. It basically is a giant puzzle. How accurate to your question earlier. That
I didn't even think
would have to be passionate about it, putting all these pieces together. But no, completely. And it's actually crazy how a lot of it is digital. So you see practical things being made, and then it's a whole team of people coming together to build these amazing things. So it's stuff you don't think about at all. You just think there's an elephant there.
Yeah. It's just another elephant. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's just another elephant. So this is one of the sets that we worked on. So we were doing a lot of the detail work that Tyrannosaurus Rex. We had to do ribs for him, and they were going to be broken because there was going to be a big fight scene and someone was going to get thrown into it. So we had to do the ribs on the Tyrannosaurus Rex breakable, so sanding them, and then they were sent off to get coated and painted by other teams, and then having to have them so that they fit back on perfectly, so that if someone gets thrown into it, there'd be another person, another set to come in, and you wouldn't be trying to stick back together tiny little bits. But, yeah, very cool. There's the elephant all done after all the different departments worked on it. And we also did that balcony up there as a breakaway one as well. So someone was going to be thrown out of that balcony and that whole thing smashed down. Yes, close up of the balcony, completely smashed through it. So even that was hollow. So it looks like it's still the solid thing, but it's all completely hollow and someone gets thrown and you just smash and dust and everything. And it's just a really cool, different things, the trick of the movie magic that you get to work on. It's cool.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Penny Dreadful. That's I was working with a team, what was it? It was a guy called Greg Keeley, and we worked on doing these chandeliers. So we were just casting and molding out all the pieces for it. So I'll show you. Here we go. There's a femur. We only had the end, so the hip joint. So I had to sculpt the knee joint for it and then molded it. And then that was part of 3 different molds that we had to do. So in total, there was I think a team of 6 or 7 of us molding and casting 1,200, 400 femurs, 400 hips, 400 skulls. There you go. Absolute ridiculous amount of bones in general. But it was a lot of fun and it was a great team to work on. Everyone was such a laugh. I nearly hit myself in the face with a chisel on that, and I got Bullseye as a nickname for a little while. So good thing I told you guys that. So that's what I remember. But that's as you sent the rest of the pieces on, they put it together to make this beautiful scene. So it's just, again, crazy that you can see the movie magic, how everything comes together and it just becomes this amazing thing. I think it was inspired by a church in Czech, but it's just so cool.
That's amazing.
Oh yeah. I did a prosthetics course with Bobby McGlynn. That was great crack. I definitely think if you're gonna be in this industry, you have to just try and broaden your skills a lot. So whenever I'd have time off, I'd try and just do different courses. This was a prosthetics course that I did. So this is start to finish, sculpt of a burn, the prosthetic of the burn. You learned how to mold and cast it out, and then the application and paintwork of it. It was super gross. I love it.
It's super awesome.
Yeah,
the super gross one.
Oh yeah, that's the super gross one. This one was actually like butt that I sculpted it off. I think someone impaled their butt, and I was like, that's a great thing to sculpt. So I sculpted it and then put it on someone's shoulders. So there you go. That's why it looks so fatty.
Multi-purposing.
Multi-purposing, exactly. Oh, Ghostbusters. So this is all for Motion Gate Dubai, which was one of the biggest and coolest projects I worked on. I was working with Deluxe Group, which I'm working with right now. So now me and my friend Holly, we're permanent with the Deluxe Group. They're an amazing team. And what was it? A few years ago, before Holly joined us, it was me, a girl Fiona, and a full art team, and we got to build it all here and ship it over, and then follow them over to Dubai to install it. So it was just an amazing thing. So this is Ghostbusters, cool ride that we worked on. This is like explosion. If you can imagine a poppin' fresh man coming at you through this wall. This is what happened. This is where this wire and burning and bricks flying and everything. You'd be going around in this little cart and you're shooting at things. So you could shoot at the popping fresh man. Then this is the marshmallow bits afterwards. You'd go through and it would explode. So marshmallow. Yeah, it's very cool. It's very cool.
What are those marshmallow bits made out of? Is it like, is it CNC'd, or is it something that you actually sit there and make out of something?
That was literally polystyrene. So we hand carved them. It was me, Fiona, and a guy called Mickey Murray, and we hand carved them, doing all the different organic shapes, and then we'd cover it in tin foil and then fiberglass over it, because fiberglass melts polystyrene, so we don't want that. So we'd literally fiberglass the whole thing and then flipped it over, fiberglass the back, cut it open, took all the polystyrene out, and then made a solid shell completely so that they can be placed in different areas and they're hollow. You're not able to put anything flammable in there, so no polystyrene was allowed on site.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's stuff that you don't even think about. This is some of the obelisks, and this is I forget the name. I was told that it's not a gargoyle because gargoyles have water that comes out of the mouth. But this is a guy I made. He was, again, polystyrene sculpted, and then Hunky Punk. There you go. This is the Hunky Punk. I love the name.
That is a very cool name.
It's a very cool name. It's actually cooler than a gargoyle.
Do we know why that's called a Hunky Punk?
I don't know. Because he's a hunky punk.
We shall be looking that up for
I would think of that as some geezer with like a Mohican and quite hench.
Quite hench.
Because then he's a hunky punk, isn't he?
You should put a mohawk on him.
Exactly.
This is Zombieland. Very cool thing that we got to work on as well. It was mainly with this one paintwork. So we got to paint these amazing scenes, just all for the waiting area of the ride. And it was just, the corridors were like so tight and close. So it was a really claustrophobic like experience, but it was so cool to work on all the different, we had like images of each of them and we just had to replicate exactly what they wanted. But I loved this paintwork, and that actually got me more into doing paintwork for it, because I was mainly sculpture before. So actually set paintwork, it's cool. Love it. So cool. And then more of them, yeah. And then even like the boarded up windows, it kind of gives you that height feeling around it. But very cool scenes. This is me. Me and my friend Fiona, we like, obviously for Zombieland, you need a lot of blood everywhere. So we had to just get big buckets, mix up giant buckets of paint, figure out a good blood splat color. And the image on the right, and the reason why I look like the image on the left, is because I dunked myself in paint, and I had been dragged out of the room screaming by Fiona. So it's literally me screaming, dragging, because obviously you have to scream, and that is where you get that authentic blood.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, you in order to really get the emphasis on the feeling of being pulled out, you have to scream, and it doesn't matter if it's make believe. You just I wish I honestly, that is one of the things that I would actually love to do. And yes, Paul is right. It is savage.
I mean, I'm sure we can arrange it at some attraction that we all get to visit together in future, Cynthia.
And you so know I will be up for it.
Hannah has to cover you in paint.
Oh yeah,
but I will take giant pleasure in doing the dragging.
Awesome.
You can have one of those like those parties where you just like paint, but it can just be all blood. So it's just like typical and screaming.
I'm on board. Drag me through blood. That's the only thing I want to do in my life.
Oh, this is it. You could look just like me, Cynthia.
Oh, I aspire to it. I'm missing the red hair though.
The paint will do that, so you're fine.
Yeah, oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
Okay, we're good. I love it. Oh yeah. Oh, this is more Ghostbusters, but that's obviously what was that? Hunky Punk up in his natural habitat of in the sky.
We need a David Attenborough voiceover for that bit. Here is he, the Hunky Punk.
I like that word. I think that's going to be my word for 2021. Hunky Punk. It's not like hanky panky, but it's hunky punk. It's kind of funny.
It is. Hanky panky, hunky punk. Try to say that 10 times quick.
No.
No one
something atrocious that end up coming out of one of our mouths.
Love it.
Are we stuck
Kelly,
on this one?
Kelly.
We're stuck on hunky punk.
There we go.
These are more of the obelisks. What was it? Going in, and that's what was it? The obelisk on the left, and then we're going through the scene of Ghostbusters, and it's so cool. Like, I love it. That was more shooting and just the basic scenes around the place, so it was just a cool experience. We got to go walk through the whole thing and go on it as well, so it was actually cool to be on the ride that you actually got to work on. So it was a great experience.
How often do you actually get to do that, Hannah? How often do you get to go and actually do the ride or a attraction that you spent so much time on?
This is I've only really worked on 3 different parks so far, and this was the only one that I've actually got to do that. We at the end of it all got like a full day of it, and got like we got to just go a bit mad. And even in some of the other parts of the park, we got to go on some of the rides as well. So it was actually just like a big like kiddie day of experiencing it all, and I loved it so much. It was so cool.
It is one of the most gratifying things to do, to go through an experience that you contributed to.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that's like better than drugs. I don't do drugs, so I wouldn't really know. But it is, for me, it's like I can't get a higher high than going through an attraction that I contributed to.
Exactly.
I totally agree with that, but I do have a flip side point of, when you do spend a unfair percentage of time solving or dealing with one particular thing, one particular part. I mean, for each of us, it'll be different. But like when I do something that's very technically challenging, but the visitor only sees or understands that for a split second, and you're like, I put days into making that thing work, and it's over. I find that heartbreaking, but the overall experience of knowing that I've been part of something really gratifying. Especially that look that you get to see on visitors' faces, knowing that you put that look there.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why a lot of people do what we do.
Yeah, completely.
And going through the attraction is just like that. When you're going through the attraction with the other people, with the guests, that's where you see like the sparkling eyes and oh, mommy, look at that, and I just, oh God, that's so cool. It's yeah, part of what I love about what I do.
Oh, completely. Seeing the just excitement in other people's faces is amazing. And then especially I think like probably if you get into this industry, you love going to them yourself. So it kind of brings back the child in you that you probably experience, because that's we were like, me and my friend Holly, we were literally saying go, and you'd go and touch things and you're like, oh, what's this made out of? Oh my god, like this is so exciting. Like and then you actually get to do those things. You're just like, oh, crazy.
Oh, you have to make sure though, working in this industry, we have a very strict family rule that when we go and look at a new attraction or a new ride or something, we go through as a visitor. And you don't look at anything that you're not supposed to look at, and you enjoy the ride and enjoy the experience for the moment, and then go back through and do it again with the other hat on and really looking at it and checking things out and going, oh, wouldn't have done that. Oh, but you have to separate and allow yourself to have that enjoyment factor, because otherwise our background knowledge, I think, can take away from what we're actually all doing.
Yeah. Oh, completely.
Yeah, it's completely true. I have a burning question because I'm not an artist, and I've never spoken to an artist this long before. Thank you, Hannah.
Cool.
You know the obelisks that we had in the previous picture, and even this roof that we're looking at right now. How heavy is that? That's what just amazes me.
Yeah,
it looks super heavy.
The obelisks were pretty heavy, but they weren't so bad. They would have been hollow, so that would have been MDF, and then textured to make it look like it's concrete. So it actually was a much lighter material, and that was actually built here in Portadown in Northern Ireland with the Deluxe Group. We built it all here and then shipped it over. So the obelisk and most of, like, nearly everything you had seen before then was actually all done here, and as I said, shipped over, and we followed it over. But then the next slide was the top of the castle that we did in Hotel Transylvania. So this was a big steel structure with concrete on top of it. So this was also going to be outside, where it'll be weathered, everything in the middle of Dubai and Abu Dhabi, the desert. It had to be really, really, really sturdy. So we had cranes and everything lifting this up to the top of the whole structure. So this was heavy. No one could lift this. Well, everything before could be put into a truck and a crate and just shipped over. This was like made to last.
Well, that's good. It's a roof.
Completely.
Kind of wanted to withstand the elements.
There you go. Yeah, that's hessian and stuff at the side, because when we were sculpting it, we had to keep it wet, so it was just like, so it didn't crack. And completely every day you were there with like Mickey Murray came up with this great idea of a little stencil that you were just like pressing into it to make this kind of pattern over and over again. So it just made these tiny little tiles, and they were just like, they looked fab. And the thing, it's just as well, we had it so that the lower in the building it was, the bigger the things were, and then forced perspective. So as you got higher and higher, it was just getting smaller and smaller, so that it seemed like it was so far away. So those tiles were like towards the end. There you go. There's the castle that we worked on. Wow. Cool. Yeah, we were like on top of a warehouse with scaffolding and everything, everyone harnessed in, helmets, everything, and just up there for a good couple of weeks and sculpting, painting, filling things in, joining it together. It's crazy. Very lucky I'm not afraid of heights. It was actually amazing view, beautiful to look out over the whole park. It was actually breathtaking going up on that every day. So I loved it.
Had you been to Dubai or anywhere in the Middle East before you went out there?
No, never. I actually didn't even know if I would have ever gone to Dubai. So I have to really thank the Deluxe Group for that amazing experience, because it would have never been somewhere that I thought of. And then going over there and experiencing that and living over there for 9 months in a hotel was just phenomenal. And we had just such a great team, and everyone was just absolutely lovely. And we were all in the same hotel, living in different rooms. So it was just like a cool way of just hanging out and everyone getting a bus together in the morning and working all day. But it was really cool. And then like you'd have your Fridays off, and we all just like on our days off, we'd either go to like a beach or we'd go to a concert. We went to see the Beach Boys over there. It was amazing.
They still play?
I know, amazing. It was so good.
When did you go, Hannah?
When
was this?
This was 4 years ago. So I think we came back just over 3 years ago. So we went, I think it was the end of May, and then came back on Christmas Eve of 2017. So it was a crazy experience. Like, loved it. This was all for Inside Hotel Transylvania. So me and Fiona were working on. This is Murray the Mummy, if you've watched it, and his girlfriend, or I don't know, wife, Penelope, we called her. I don't know if that's actually her name, but we totally gave her the name of Penelope. And this is their sarcophaguses. We got to, these were again.
Fast. Sarcophagus. I don't even know I could say it once.
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus.
Sarcophagus. We'll put that in the. Oh, I can't even remember.
Sarcophagus.
Hanky panky, hunky punk sarcophagus. Just gonna make this tongue twister worse.
Yeah.
Producer Kelly says sarcophagi.
Sarcophagi, because there's two.
I was very careful on how I said that as well.
I love it. Oh, yeah. There we go.
That sounded rude.
Sarcophagi. So that's the plural. Well, what was it? Murray is definitely a sarcophagi. So I think it's a sarcophagus lady is Penelope. No. Terrible puns, I'm so sorry.
Did the penny just drop, Cynthia? Did the penny just drop?
The penny just dropped, okay? I'm sorry. All right? I just got it. I'm slow. Give me a break. I'm looking at all of these horrible skull faces. I'm scared. And you're talking about sarcophagi.
I appreciate the laughter, though.
I used to speak this language when I was in high school. So I grew up in California, in Southern California, and I used to speak this language so that my parents couldn't understand us. And it get will good go lagay the gis. Again, a guy will good to go lagay the gis. Again, a guy to go no go. If you go a gun to girst again, what will get a guy gems the gaging. I can't do it anymore. I'm too old to do it. But I used to like put G's in every single syllable, and I can still talk like that. So scagarphagus. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Scagarphagi. Scagarphagalady.
I'm with you, Kelly. I am lost.
No one knows. Cynthia has gone off on a tangent. Cynthia is no longer being controlled. It must be.
Changed galaxy.
It must be the bottle of wine. That, of course,
great
got left off.
That is amazing. I think that's the greatest bottle of wine I've ever seen. Oh, yeah. These were skulls that I got to sculpt. These were a base of polystyrene and then sculpted on with plasticine. And then we sent them on to get molded and cast with someone else, and then got to come back and paint them. The same with the deer skull. These are actually actual antlers that were molded and cast for them. But I love the great thing, I think, as well, working in theming is that you get to do start to finish being an artist. As I said before in previous things, that when you work on film and TV, you have your department and that is your niche. While I got to actually sculpt these and then paint them, and then you put them there and then you see it and then you get to go on the ride. It's just amazing getting to do all of the above. It's just, so these were great. I loved doing them. These were my like little mini projects with again, Penelope. Good on her. She's looking fab. That's Fiona worked on her mainly, but I was helping with the start one, and then what was it, Murray the Mummy was my guy, and she also helped me with them. So we got to work on both, but then obviously towards the end we got to paint them ourselves just to have each a different job. But it was a great, amazing thing. I love, again, seeing her from, that's how we did it, polystyrene. We were about carving them both and then covering them in cement, and then it was like a filler to smooth it down so that she was like super smooth and crisp. And then it was like sand, like fill sand, get it perfect, and then molded, cast, come back to us, fiberglass shell, and then we got to paint them and fill and sand again, because that's just all we do mainly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's Murray. He's my boo. That's him at the right in place. So that's him where he's sitting in the waiting area, welcoming everyone coming onto the ride with his little snake on top, living his best life.
Oh, it's a sneaky little snake.
He's a snake, a little snake, exactly. I loved him. He was one of the coolest things I worked on, again, because it was start to finish. So getting to actually build things completely is just amazing. I love it. Oh, my pets. This is Wookie. He's my little baby. I love it. Actually, this sloth teddy, I was cleaning out things that I emptied from my grandparents, and I took him out of the bag, and Wookie instantly just was like, this is my new teddy. And he just fell in love with him. So this is Wookie going like, yeah, do it all for the Wookie. Amazing. And he's just living his, like, I keep saying that phrase, he's just chilling out on his little sloth, and they're best buds now and inseparable. It's the cutest thing. So there he is, little boo. And then I have Bilbo Baggins.
Oh.
Isn't he just the cutest?
Oh, I just want to boop his little snoot.
He has the teeniest snoot to boop.
Oh,
I know. He's so cute.
He
is the boopiest of all snoots, and he loves a good cuddle, and you put him on his back and you'll pet him, and you just live in his, he's just loving it. I keep saying.
You have a lot of things surrounding you that are living their best life. And
it's so true.
I actually like that expression. I do. Living their best. I mean, isn't that what you would wish on everyone? To live their best life?
I do think with my cats that I prefer that they lived their best life whilst I was awake and just slept whilst I was sleeping, because one of them has a particular penchant for crawling all over the bed whilst I'm trying to sleep. It's quite frustrating.
My cat has, I don't know if all cats are like this, because I mean, the last time I had a cat, I was like 6 years old, and my cat sleeps between my legs. Like I'll have my knees together and then spread out on my legs like this, and they'll get in between my knee and my legs, my feet, and just snuggle, and I can't move afterwards. And you're just like, God dang, man, let me move. So I don't know, cats like doing that, I guess.
Yeah, cats are so weird. I love them. Because Bilbo just has like the cutest little snort as well. He's just like, his breathing's a bit, but like if you scratch him on the chest, he has like.
We need an impression now. We need an impression. You
I regret this instantly. This was a mistake. But he's like, he does this thing that if you scratch his chest, he just literally goes.
Bravo.
I did it. Oh, thank God I'm super pale, because you cannot see how red I'm going right now.
Snorting like Bilbo.
Yeah, snorting like Bilbo.
Love it. Wonderful.
And this is when all my family turns off the thing and go, we are not related to her.
No, we need your family and friends to stay on so that they can.
They are.
Because I'm just about to say, anyone that's got questions, let's have your questions in the chats for our dear producer Kelly to sift through and find the most interesting questions to ask. When I mean them appropriately and inappropriately.
Hey,
we ask some of our own questions.
We have a comment that says no one knows who Kelly is. So Kelly is our producer, and she's in the backstage doing all of the crazy stuff that we can't do. Hi, Kelly.
There's Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Without Kelly, we would be useless.
Utterly.
Yeah, completely. Thanks,
we might be able to manage a Zoom conversation, but to get it out and make it a show would be impossible.
Yeah, exactly.
And thanks to Patrick and the rest of the team at TETV as well, because we wouldn't manage it.
No, we wouldn't be able to manage it.
No.
But it is. Everyone's saying that you have such a great variety of work, and that it's just amazing what you do, and. This is why I love this show, is because we're going to see so many amazing people. And so
that's my teacher. Sorry.
Hi, Mr. Kilgariff.
Hi, Mr. Kilgariff. Thank you.
Thank you for teaching. Thank you for teaching Hannah, and thank you for inspiring her, because she's told us a little bit about you, and I think you're cool.
He's very cool person, and definitely inspired me. Completely.
So that's already answering our little cheeky first question on the list. It literally is a taking point answered it. Yeah. The question for the viewers and watchers and listeners is, what led you to choose your courses and the pathway, this career pathway? And you're literally just talking about a specific teacher.
Yeah, definitely. It just because I always, as I said, NCAD was the college everyone went to, and I just didn't even think of anything outside that. But as I said, he kind of saw my 3D passion and was like, no, what about this course? What about model making? Why don't you go try this? And I was like, oh, can I do that? He was like, yeah, make your, if you want, portfolio for NCAD all 3D, so that you're going for both. So I did, and he helped me make it all 3D, and I applied, as I said, for IEDT model making with this portfolio, and I got accepted. So model making was the first step of becoming into this theming industry. And actually as well, Julian King, my model making, head of the whole course, he ended up getting me in contact with the Deluxe group. So it was the Deluxe group was looking for someone to do to come on and be come and work for them for a while. And Julian King ended up getting contact, did an interview process, and I was lucky enough to get the job by bringing my portfolio in and going for it. So I ended up getting the course because of model making as well. So like stepping stones of my obviously Luke, and then going on with Julian and getting into the Deluxe group, who I now work for permanently and get to work on all these amazing things with. It's just pure steps, and it's great.
You're living the good life.
Living the good life, exactly. The Deluxe group, woo!
Yeah.
Represent. Should have a T-shirt on or something. Be like, team. Go team. Be fine.
So what? There's a second part to that question. What kind of advice would you give to aspiring set builders?
I think probably the advice that I would give is to not be precious with your work, because I think when you go on to do these things, especially when you come out of college and stuff, you work on your own thing and you do your own stuff and you get really into it. And that's actually something in model making that they tried to drill into us, is that, yeah, you're in college now and you're doing these things and you're working for a grade. But when you go out into the real world, you're working with a team. So when you're working with a team, loads of people have different ideas and different, like, especially if you're working for a art director or anything like that, they have a specific vision of what they want. And just because you spent hours or days or whatever working on this, if it's not the vision that they're trying to give, then unfortunately they may not use it, or you may have to change it. So you have to be able to adapt and take criticism, and it's not a reflection of you yourself, it's just unfortunately what they have in their head. So I think for everyone to try and just be like, it's okay if they don't like it, it's not necessarily you, it's just you can't be precious with it because they have a vision and you're trying to fulfill that with a brief. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I guess that leads into my second question, and this may be part of your answer. That the challenges. I mean, you've done a lot of film IPs. What are the challenges that you see turning a film IP into an actual attraction, and how is that different from creating a film set and an attraction set?
I think in film and TV, a lot of the things can be zoomed by in the camera. So even though you're making this thing and making it look awesome, that a lot of it won't be focused on. While when you're making something for a theme park or a theme display, you have to make sure that if you look at it for a while, there's nothing wrong with it, because people, especially people coming and checking it out even before the ride opens and the lights aren't dimmed, people will come and look at it and be like, that doesn't look right. And you're like, the lights will go dark. That doesn't matter. You have to make sure that it's perfect. And then also with that kind of work, when you're doing theming, it has to be able to last. While film and TV is only temporary, while the film's being shot, everything. When you're doing it in like a theme park, it has to be there. It has to be fire rated. It has to be indestructible. If it has to not peel the paint, it has to be long term. So a lot of more like construction, thinking of it being solid and lasting would be the main thing, I think.
Wow.
So going off of the film set to attraction set and the varying differences there, what's the most challenging environment you've actually had to work in, with going from like talking about Dubai and how hot it is there, and having worked in Northern Ireland myself on multiple occasions and knowing how cold, wet and miserable it can be in Northern Ireland? What's the most challenging environment that you've had to come across?
I think they both have their own challenges, especially Dubai. When we first went over there, it like so hot. And then especially when we were during Ramadan, we were not allowed to drink water on site. You had to go, and if you wanted to drink, you had to go and hide in a box and everything, because obviously you have to respect the different culture and religion and everything. So hot over there. There was one day that I remember it was over 50 degrees, but it was 80% humidity. So it was I think it was 60 something degrees anyway. And I swear you walked outside and you looked at your arm and you could see every single pore release sweat. And it was gross. You were just like hanging up your t-shirt at tea time to let it dry so that you got into your eating clothes.
The more you sweat and the more it just, yeah.
It just kept rolling.
I know what it's like.
So warm. And then obviously then in Northern Ireland, like we were working in warehouses and stuff like that. So sometimes, or you're loading a truck or something. So obviously can't be warm all the time, can't be near a heater. So you have to just work in a like gloves, hat, everything, try and keep as warm as possible, nearly run on the spot to get your body going. But it's all part of the work. And if you didn't love what you do, then you wouldn't do it. So obviously have to be passionate about it to do it.
We have a
really hard, isn't it? Trying to sit still.
You could be one.
We're a production team's worst nightmare.
First audience question. So there you go. Are you still drawing pictures?
I do sometimes draw pictures. That's what my best friend Orla, I've known her since I was 5. I do still draw pictures. It wouldn't be as much as it used to, but like every now and again I try and get back into it, because I think sometimes when you're working all day on art stuff, you don't really come home and do more art stuff, unfortunately. But I do like try, and especially if I have any time off work, I get more into it. And sculpting, I'd probably be more of a sculptor. Still draws pictures. Oh my God, hilarious. If I do come home, or if I am doing it, I'd probably sculpt a bit more. So I might do like little mini sculptures and stuff at home because of the 3D work and everything. Funny. I also sculpt.
So what do you do now? What do you know now that you wish you could have told that schoolgirl when you were with Olga, or I forgot her name now.
Orla.
Olga. I'm sorry.
Olga.
Olga.
I'm calling her that from now on.
So what would you tell your young self starting out in the industry, or even, your younger self in college or high school?
I would probably tell myself to like be patient with myself and to be like, everyone knows that you're a complete noob, so don't get really stressed out with the kind of work. And like, obviously you are only learning, and so if you like, because I think I'd get a lot of stressed out about things coming up and stuff, so I think it's just like, relax, you can do it, believe in yourself, work hard, and just be patient with your abilities, and eventually it'll come to you. So that kind of thing.
That's great. Be kind to yourself.
Yeah, completely. I think we're our own worst critics, so we definitely need to be more patient with ourselves.
God, we are our own worst critics. It's amazing.
I mean, I'm sorry, I keep looking over at the door because, to be honest, the cat's dropped a bomb. It's not a fun story. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, we have while Chris is dealing with his cat bomb, we have another question from Brian Redmond. Do you think having such a messy room as a teenager, now this is not fun, your creativity in later life? So you have to tell us who Brian is.
That being a messy person makes you more creative. So I think that it is a thing that definitely helped me become the person that I am and be more artistic. It left more room to work towards my art and the passions.
Oh, I love that question. It's hilarious. I totally agree with you, Hannah. I think that, you have to have mess in your life to be able to just like, you got to have papers flowing around in your brain, and you've got to have it just like, woo, to be able to see the spark of creativity. I totally believe that. I agree. So, Brian?
It definitely has to be like part of it. It definitely has to be a main part. Like, if you are a messy person, if you are like someone who like gets frazzled, like I think you just have all these ideas everywhere, and like you just have to put them out somewhere. So if that means my room was a little messy when I was a teenager, Brian. I was such a mess. I'm not even joking. I'm a lot better now. Oh, hi. Ali, that's my little sister as well. Ali, Sophie, and Wookie. There you go. Hey, guys. Definitely, I think. I feel like this is criticizing. You're pulling me out on my stuff.
It sounds like, Patrick, it sounds like everyone watching has seen Hannah's teenage room. Except us.
Oh my God, it's loads of people writing about my room.
Yes.
Something to see but not tap.
Oh my God. not even joking. I'm so much better now. Guys, don't judge me.
Oh no, Hannah, I completely accept that a messy room is genius because it's organized chaos. You know where everything is. It may look like chaos, but it's all where you need it to be.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
I'm actually so much better. My room is always clean now, but this is going to be forever on YouTube, and everyone's going to be like, this mess, absolute mess of a life.
But the question is,
are you single or taken, Hannah?
A mess. I mean, Emily. Oh, this is wonderful.
Hannah, do you have a significant other? Because I feel like this is your
Brian, I'm gonna get you.
It's all Brian's fault. It is all Brian.
It's all Brian.
So if I was to ask on next question, would it be safe to say?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, you guys are wonderful. This is great. Oh, goodness gracious me.
Cynthia, I'm moving on now to the next question. Are you ready? Because it's clearly, we've just been discussing the answer to it. So what's the hardest lesson you've had to learn so far? Keeping your bedroom clean, right?
Yeah, keeping other places, just be a cleaner person in general. Because obviously I left a really bad impression on a lot of people. It's my old bedroom.
I think this is wonderful.
Oh
my god. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. I have friends from secondary school and everything popping up with this. Yes, keep your room clean, kids, because one time you'll be on YouTube and people will bring it up and they won't shut up about it.
I'm sorry, I love the hands that are going up. This is hilarious. We need to screenshot these hands going up because this is hilarious. I mean, oh my goodness. All right.
This is
so the hardest lesson that you learned, clean your room. But what are the
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yes, Hannah's room is now clean. Thanks, Carrie. Oh my god.
We can move on. She said it's getting her room clean.
Oh.
But
yeah,
now,
getting my room
what
clean.
Are some of the things that excite you the most about starting a new project? We're trying to get off of the, messy room. What are some of the things that excite you about starting a new project?
I think it's just kind of just seeing exactly what you're going to make. I get so excited with just like looking through and like figuring out how you're going to make the things. And especially like, as I said, worked on Ghostbusters and Hotel Transylvania and everything, that getting to see those and then making them come to life where you could physically touch these things is just amazing. Like, it's just such an exciting process, and figuring out, you're still laughing at my room. But it's like figuring out what you're going to make, how you're going to make it. And my dad, hey dad. That's my dad, Martin.
Oh, goodness.
It's supposed to be.
Oh, he just typed it. I was really good, Dad. I was.
This is too funny.
Oh no.
Oh my god.
He escaped into the walls. Did you read that? Sorry.
My
hamster got away from my messy room.
I did see that you lost your hamster in the abyss that was your room.
Then he went
I've lost track of where we are on our actual questions because I'm so focused on not keeping myself laughing.
We're going to. Oh my god. Are you losing your creativity, Hannah, because your room is clean?
No,
I think we have.
I'm still in there, and I got offered, as I said, a permanent job with the deluxe group. So hoping my creativity hasn't been gone. They obviously are happy with me and what we produce, so hopefully not. My cleanliness hasn't affected that. Maybe I've picked up good creative habits,
Wonderful.
habits.
Yes. So tell us what a proper typical day is like for you. Let's get to the serious.
Oh, yeah. Before we finish that serious question, I'd like to tack another one on the back that neither Kelly nor Cynthia know about. So, in your proper, like a typical day, and then your site typical day, they are, I would guess, slightly different. Are they different?
Site?
So, like a day a day at the Deluxe Group in Northern Ireland and a day on site in Dubai. Are they different, or do they feel the same? Just the environment changes.
It would mainly be when we were here building them. It would have been obviously a lot of sculpting and painting and constructing kind of things. While when we shipped everything over and we were in Dubai, it would have been filling and sanding and blending things in together. So it was, again, more puzzles. What a good question to bring up at the start of this whole thing.
And it wasn't
it's basically, yeah, who knew? Who knew it was going to work so well in this? But it's basically sending over all the puzzle pieces and you're just fitting them in together. So filling, painting, touching it in, all of the above. It's all a good thing. What was it? My normal day though would be, depending on if I have to be in from either 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. It'd be either up at 5:30 or 6:30, get up, go into work, figure out what we're doing today, be it filling, sanding, sculpting, painting, work until about 10, like 15-minute break, go on, come back. We might have, depending on what we're working on, could have meetings, could have people showing us exactly what needs to be made. A lot of the time we kind of know what we're going to do, so we're just kind of rolling stuff out and just working through it. So it can be completely different depending. And as I said before, that we get to do all parts of it. So sculpting, painting, filling, sanding, everything, just all day, most days, and working till about 5. While in Dubai, we were working from 7 till 7. So it was 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. So it was all of the above, but 12 hours a day. But it was an intense kind of work. But again, I wouldn't give it up because it was such an amazing experience. But just a kind of random thing.
Sorry, when you hit a site and you're working on a site, do you ever find that people are like a little bit surprised that the company's from Northern Ireland and not American and like from Disney? Because I mean Disney is like a class comparison, because like we're all aware of the work done, but it's always surprising, or especially that area of the world, find it surprising that you're not American when you're delivering the same world-class finish and response to a brick. Do you ever come into contact with that?
The Deluxe Group. Yeah, I think the Deluxe Group, because like even just as a normal worker, you have to get your foot in the door, and the Deluxe Group did some ratatouille, was a restaurant area over in Disney. They originally started getting their foot in the door, and so they've been building up, doing more and more theme parks. So as surprising as people thought they would have been from Northern Ireland, they're also now getting more well known because of their ability to be able to produce the same level of work as, say, mainland UK, America, like Japan, anything. We had actually worked on now different things globally. Like we did work on a different ride there a little while ago over in for Japan. We unfortunately didn't get to go over to it, but we got to build for it and everything. So it obviously is now that they are getting more well known. So they're getting invited and get to work for these kind of things. So it's great that their work and our work is slowly getting to be up there and respected among the higher ups of America and everything. So it's great, completely.
Well, we have a question from Steph Dillon. What's the hardest part of your job, and how do you manage to stay focused?
Stay focused. I think, hey Steph, I think the hardest part of my job is probably repetitive work. If I have to do it, it's like if you have to do the same thing over and over and over again.
Like the 400
we
femurs?
go like 400 femurs, or when we did Hotel Transylvania, there was, I can't remember the exact number, but that whole ride wall scene was sheets. So they were all sheets, flats that looked like brickwork. We had to send it over, and we spent 3.5 weeks matching the bricks up, sculpting them, and then painting them to make it look like it was just a flat wall of brickwork. So it's actually just trying to be okay with doing the exact same thing over and over again. And I think one thing that makes it easier and that we can, that I find working in that kind of thing, is having a great team that you can have a laugh with. Because if you enjoy the people you work with and get along with everyone, then it doesn't seem like work. So yeah, you're going to fill something to look like a plain wall for a month. But if you can have a laugh with your friends while you're doing it and you're singing random songs and you just have an absolute goof, you can just enjoy it. And it's just so much more fun that way. And I'm very lucky to have people that I get along with, and as I said, a great team that I work with, and I get along with everyone. So it's very good that way.
Yeah, it's important to get along. And yeah, you're cutting up. You're kind of like,
oh no, really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
We're up all night to this song. We're up all night to get lucky.
Is there something that you missed? Will I drag my internet closer to see if it's a thing? Probably.
It was fine at the beginning.
It's something internety, Hannah. It's something internety. It's not your fault. Daft Punk are just raiding in on us because we're just too cool.
Right.
I do love Daft Punk.
Well, we can start on with the next question from our audience. This is so cool. We've got so many questions from the audience. I'm excited. Can you see that? Do you have a preference for theme parks or sets?
Yep. I do have. I think I like theme parks because they're more permanent. Am I still Daft Punk because I can change to my phone data?
You're good.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're good.
Now you're Daft
Punk would be my preference. Except for now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna. It'd be. I think theme parks are definitely my preference because with theme parks they're a permanent installation. So as I said, they're like you're able to work longer, harder on it. People are going to be coming from all over the world to see your work, and it'll eventually be something that you can go see yourself. While I think being temporary in TV and film, though it is held for many years as a show or as a film that you can see on the screen, it's not something that you can go and experience yourself and actually be part of the whole like experience and be part of it. So it's like I definitely think theme parks would be my preference in that kind of sense. Love it.
Well, that takes us to asking you what you like most about your job. The best bit.
What I like most
Daft Punk's back.
bit is getting to make Daft Punk. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's the messy room.
So
it's the messy room that screwed us up. It's just
messing up with the connection. That's it exactly. It's Daft Punk is playing at my house and it's interrupting me. It's like I'm like gonna go to my data because I definitely think it might be our internet because it sometimes does that, and I'm pretty sure because it's 6 p.m. and everyone's logging in as soon as they get home that the internet is just being ridiculous. So I'm gonna go to my bedroom and hopefully it'll help. Exactly.
That was a famous slow motion running scene. I won't sing the music. You sound like a monkey.
I know.
Okay. Is that much better?
That is better.
Have we fixed the problem?
You may have missed Cynthia doing
Okay.
Imitating a monkey. Thank you. I do not want that. No, that was a monkey. No, the dolphin.
Cool. So I did Bilbo and you did a dolphin. We're good.
Oh my god.
Goodness gracious. All right. So what was the question?
Oh, I've forgotten. What do you like most about your job, Hannah?
I think what I love most about my job is getting to like see, like maybe watch movies and series. So like, as I said, Zombieland, Ghostbusters, amazing things that I always was a big fan of growing up, and getting to work on those and actually make those things a reality is just phenomenal. Like actually getting excited about like, oh my god, you remember going to see that? Okay, now we're going to make it so that people can come around and like experience it. Like it was just amazing. And then also I get to meet, just I think especially in this industry, you get such crazy people that I just make so many brilliant friends globally as well, and they just so much passion for their work and so many lovely people that it's just amazing. And I don't think any other like line that I'd be able to meet these crazy people and enjoy their company and get to make cool things with them. It's just so cool. It's just amazing. Then travel steady. Something else.
We have our last question from the audience.
Okay.
Is there an IP that you would really love to work on in the future?
I would love to work on Star Wars. Something in the Star Wars universe, like the Mandalorian that is released at the moment. Oh my god, if I got to work on those, it would just be absolutely epic. One of the guys I know had worked doing stuff for it, and it would just be a dream come true. I'm just like, to get to work on that kind of thing, it would just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Star Wars. Star Wars, so cool.
All right, let's put it out there. Hannah, work on Star Wars. I'm putting it out in the universe. I believe in that, so I'm putting it out there.
But that's a long time ago. Yes, the galaxy far, far away.
That is a galaxy far, far away.
Go ahead. If that isn't a advertisement for Hannah, I don't know what is. George Lucas, I hope you're
screen grab.
So Hannah,
like a theme park. Give the deluxe group a theme park ride. Sorry. Star Wars world.
Serious question, Hannah. If there's something that you could change in this industry, what would it be?
I think if anything, it would probably be we're so serious. It would probably be that after theme park rides are done and everything, that there's no like they just go and get thrown away. It would be great if there was some kind of method to recycle or reuse things, like, because they're just so much work and effort has gone into these things that, like, if there was some way to preserve that. And I do think that even though they may not be a ride or something anymore, that maybe someone else would like them as a ride or as a display or a museum or something. It could be could be used as,
I mean, ski areas are selling their, those 1970s eggs. They're replacing ski lifts, and the eggs are going for like a bunch of euros. They're hot on the market, and otherwise they would just be scrap. And I really think that there's I would love hot eggs. I would love to have. I mean, could you imagine having, just a cool set decoration like the cheese from Ratatouille in your backyard? I just think that there's some really cool stuff to just have as decoration.
Oh, the giant ham in Ratatouille that's hung up in the ride. I love that. And like across the outside my apartment, just like lead on the wall. It'd be so random and so cool.
Exactly.
I think there's so much longevity there. I think for what you're saying, Hannah, the perfect example is something like Harry Potter and Harry Potter World in Universal Studios, and the amount of filming locations around the UK that have some sort of visitor attraction there already on these. No, it's not my time to shine. Like thinking of all of the castles and the abbeys that Harry Potter were filmed in. Now, how much more is that going to bring the public to that location to spend some money to go and see a museum about the history of the building, the architecture, and the rest of it? Oh, and by the way, check out all this wicked stuff we've got from Harry Potter. And
completely.
It's somewhere over my shoulder. I can't do it on this kind of camera where it's mirrored weirdly, but there's my wand there, which is the actual wand. There it is.
Oh, there we have it.
It's the actual thing. But yeah, I completely agree with you. And there's so much that can be used that does get thrown away that can bring it can give again. Yes, it might be a bit tackier. It might have had its lifetime, but as you said, it doesn't need to be all of your efforts, especially all of the sculptures that you make, don't need to be just thrown in the bin. They can be used in another way. If you look at the sarcophagi, they could be used in any form of fun young attraction. And they could just be there, and just because there's something else, isn't that cool? It adds to the depth of the experience.
Yeah. Could you imagine going even like if it was all wrecked and ripped down, and then they put it all together from like multiple theme parks from around the world? Could you imagine they just throw all that in, and it's like this weird, spooky, derelict, haunted theme park, even where it's just like the remnants of like all the other ones.
I would so go there.
It'd be so cool. I know.
It wouldn't quite be Banksy's Park, but it would be something close.
Disneyland.
Disneyland, that was it. Well done. Kelly is like leading this for everyone that can't see. Oh. Like we have producer Kelly giving us little notes and things. And we're just like, yes, thank you. Carry on.
Thank you, Kelly. There you go.
Disneyland.
Disneyland, exactly.
That's so bad.
Oh, so bad.
It wasn't supposed to be genius. We have a vague script for this, but don't expect comedy genius out of me.
All right, Hannah. We can get to the fun questions. Chris?
We don't know how many of them. We don't think you've seen any of them, Hannah, which is kind of the point.
Yes.
Okay.
Might get the first one.
Go for it. I won't even look at them then.
You get the first one.
Yeah. Hannah, this is Unsung Hero. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Okay. It was actually, if I had a superpower, I would probably be super speed, because if I could get those repetitive jobs done as quick as possible, that would be amazing. Or, if you run out of material, run down shops, get it. Don't have to wait for things. You could just fly across stuff. Like literally, if you had to go get something, because, the Flash, you can literally run across water. Actually, he can also run around the world and reverse time and everything. So, like if I could just be the Flash, that would be pretty deadly. And just have all them abilities. The Flash. Here you go.
All right. Sorry. Next question. If you had to be a little miss or a little mister, which one would you be?
I think I'd probably be Little Miss Bump, because most people who know me know that I'm clumsy. So I will bump, bash, and trip my way into things, though I've never broken anything. But I definitely batter myself a lot from jumping and hitting and whatever. And I'm also, if you can tell, very animated. So I'm not very good with my general surroundings. So I also sometimes knock things over. So probably Little Miss Bump.
And you live up to your Hannah Bullseye Kavanagh quite
yeah,
well.
Exactly. There you go. Exactly. Just chisel to the face.
But I think we established I think we established during this interview that you might also be Little Miss Messy.
Not anymore. I am like a new girl woman, maybe a little bit in work, but I clean up after myself.
Miss Messy.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in permission.
Well, we're getting some dark punk noises. It might be me.
Go for it, Chris.
Okay, we're good. Okay. Yes. Kelly, we good.
Go for it.
So, Hannah, if you were to ride into battle on an animal, what type of animal would it be that you're riding?
Okay, this question has to go back to my friend Orla. We watched this film when we were younger, Quest of Camelot, and there was someone riding into battle on a Shetland pony. So we made up a song. It's not a long song. It's literally riding into battle on a Shetland pony. So that is, I have to go with Shetland pony.
Bravo. I do say bravo. A Shetland pony. I think that's wonderful. I like that.
From Chris.
What are those songs called? What are those? What a Shetland pony. You got Chris. He's out. Oh my God. We're able to get Chris out. This is amazing. Do the song again.
Useless.
Please do the song again. Do the song. We need the song.
Okay. Riding into battle on a Shetland pony.
And that's it?
Yes, baby. Shetland pony.
Beautiful. I think it's wonderful. I love it. Yeah, your friends are remembering that song, yeah.
This was a thing.
Well, what are those songs called? The maritime songs that rhyme and that what do they have a name? Those songs. Damn it, I've forgotten. Thank you, Kelly. Sea shanties. Stephen Colbert was talking about these last week, and I think Kelly, you probably watched Stephen Colbert too, and he was talking about sea shanties. So is that a sea shanty, or is it a prairie shanty? Riding on the prairie with a Shetland pony.
Cynthia's got a dance for it now.
What?
I think
we have a verse and we have a dance.
Riding in battle on a Shetland pony.
Stop it!
Oh goodness gracious!
Dance break.
Dance break. Yeah, hey, I can do a dance break. I'm fine. But I'm not going to do one really.
Sure did it.
All right, Chris, you have our last question.
Oh, are we going there?
The last question.
Oh.
Hannah, you have two options here.
Oh.
Which hat would you wear for the rest of your life? The rules are You can't tell anyone why you've chosen to wear this hat. You have to wear this hat, and you just have to make it work. So it's big hat or little hat, and these are the hats.
So we have to make a very specific precision here. You have to wear the hat even during coitus.
At all times, forever.
Forever.
Sorry, Dad.
I got there.
Think of that.
But yeah, I think the top hat would be so dapper, but I'm thinking of the convenience of sleeping, and thus the little hat, even though it would clash with my hair, would have to be the winner.
All right.
Little hat. Yeah. You could, and also, you're wearing that hat.
Votes for the little hat, Chris.
The second half.
Yeah, but then I think there's going to be amongst all of our guests and for future shows. I think that I'm going to turn the tides, and they will become quite equal across everyone. Because let's be honest, honestly, everyone wants a big top hat on their head,
even during coitus.
I mean, I'd have to hold it a tad, but I'm sure it'll work.
You're not going there. You're not going there. Chris, be a good boy. Be a good boy.
I am a good boy.
Remember, she said her family is watching. Yeah. All right.
It's like a red rag to a bull for me.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, listen, Hannah, it was so awesome. Like so awesome to have you on the show. This is our second episode. You are the first person that we're interviewing. And you were the most awesome guest we've ever had. I mean, right?
I will second this.
Yeah. I mean, you are like the most awesome guest we've ever had. And we're so happy to have you. Did you have a good time with us?
I had an amazing time, even though I feel like I was berated a little bit. I feel like I had a very good time with you guys. I did. It was such a laugh. Thank you so much for having me on.
Oh, it was great to have you on. Really. Listen, all of our audience, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for participating. You guys really did totally contribute to making this show the hilarious show that it was for us. I hope it was hilarious for you guys. Continue watching our show, Unsung Heroes. It's every other Friday at the same time that you're watching it. And subscribe to our newsletter. You'll get to have the whole scale of shows that are on TETV. So we have a newsletter. We've got social media channels, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. What else have we got? And that's it.
Pikachu. I'm sure we're everywhere on all platforms, but themedexperiencetv.com is the easiest place to find us on all of our channels and all of our varying stuffs, but mainly Unsung Heroes because we're awesome.
Yes. Hannah, what would you like to say in closing?
Oh, well, what I was going to say, if you actually want to follow on Facebook, I shared you guys so they can go directly to my page, all my friends and family, if you want to follow. But also, I want to say thank you for having me on. Thank you to all my friends and family. You're amazing, even though you embarrass me so much. I love you guys. You're an amazing. Oh, thanks, guys. You're going to make me blush. So happy. Thanks, Mom. I'm just so happy to be here, and I'm so overwhelmed with just how lovely everyone was and so supportive, and just you're all brilliant. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thanks,
Hannah. You were a great guest. Your family's hilarious. I wanna get to know them. And continue creating, continue being the most awesome sculptor that I know, and you know, continue making great shit. I said one bad word.
We're going to set the bar, though. Hannah has set the bar now as a guest, though. So now everyone gets compared to Hannah. So there's also that. Beware, future guests. We love you. Beware.
It's going to be a random question. How messy was your room as a child?
That's going in. That is going in.
Creative. Exactly. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your life and live the best life. Bye, everybody.
Cynthia, go hug a hero.
Go hug a hero.